Yeah, hey, Peter. Hey, I really
Yeah.
think you do your users or your listeners a huge disservice when you try to comment, with such bias. I mean, it's very obvious to your users whose side you're on without even knowing the facts because you,
No,
you
no, no.
speak as if you were there
Mike,
and you weren't.
Mike, I do know the facts. That's the point. I think the people who are biased are the people who don't know the facts. I've got all the facts, and therefore I'm making a decision based on the facts that I know. So my only bias is based on the facts. And so based on the facts that I know, now what facts do you know that would lead you to believe that George Zimmerman murdered Trayvon Martin? What facts do you have that would support that?
Well, what I can say is that someone who gets out of their car and has already made a predetermination that's without even seeing him commit a crime. It's one thing to say, hey, I think that guy looks suspicious, but he hasn't committed a crime. So how is he going to say that they always get away?
Well, it's if he assumes
he didn't do anything for him to say, hey, he's getting away.
But none of that
getting
gives.
Away with what?
Well, if he thinks he's trying to rob a house, and he's coming to that conclusion. That's why he's calling the police. He believes this person looks suspicious. He's a neighborhood watch guy. His job is to be on the lookout for people who look suspicious. Now you're going to say, well, he shouldn't have got out of the car.
Lookout, not to follow and pursue. That you just
he didn't. You don't know that he pursued him. He was trying to see where he was. But just because somebody gets out of the car, it doesn't give Trayvon Martin the right to attack that person, to beat that person.
But you don't know that he attacked him. That's my point.
No.
You're saying it as if you were there. You don't know that.
But then why else would George Zimmerman have shot him at point-blank range, lying on his back, if he hadn't been attacked?
Well, why did he get out of his car to pursue someone that did not commit a crime who he had already passed judgment on?
He doesn't know whether or not he's going to commit a crime or is in the process of getting out of a crime. He wanted to ascertain where he was so he can tell the police. Tell me what evidence you have that he killed him, that he murdered him, and that it wasn't self-defense. Do you know of any evidence that shows that it was not self-defense?
Well, I feel. And
but you feel it.
Either, but
no.
But I will say that I feel that he did not commit a crime.
Mike, you are making your determination based on emotion. You're hoping that he murdered him, but I'm looking at the facts.
So are you.
The facts. No, I'm not. I'm looking at the facts. The most logical conclusion is that it was self-defense. Remember how the media initially tried to paint this, that a big white racist murdered a 12-year-old little boy. And the defense is still trying to portray Trayvon Martin like he was a little kid. They say, well, he only weighed 158 pounds. That's not skinny. If you're a 17-year-old and you're 5'11", that's muscle. There's no fat. I was in high school at 5'11". I only weighed 135 pounds. The kid played football. I saw pictures of his arms. He had some nice guns on him. I wouldn't want to tangle with George Zimmerman. With Trayvon Martin. I'm sure George Zimmerman didn't want to tangle with him. The most likely thing is that he was attacked. Trayvon Martin threw the first punch, knocked him down, was beating him up. That's obvious from the injuries that are there. So I think it's people who want to close their eyes to the facts and just buy on to this media lynch mob, which is what it is, just trying to make this into something racial when it's not.